This Christian is crazy because of financial abuse by a narcissist, which is also domestic abuse. The narcissist worshiping Satanist is labeling me as a crazy Christian because he can't control the relationship that I have with God. I have fellowship with the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit by myself, with myself, and for myself. I do Bible study alone with the Father and Jesus often, and the Holy Spirit is also there. The narcissist worshiping Satanist has controlled me and the isolation of my family, my friends, my coworkers in real estate, my coworkers from Home Depot, all of my allies from AA. And if he knows that I'm speaking to a mutual friend that he knows, he will make that person crazy. So I'm not unique being a crazy Christian. He isolates me by making that friend crazy. He has isolated me from everyone I know, but he can't, and I won't allow him to isolate me from my relationship with God. He was gone all night again last night, and he said he went to his aunt's, but, I don't know where he went. She bought him a $40,000 new Jeep Cherokee and put the insurance in her name. He's probably living at his Aunt Cheryl's for free because he doesn't need any furniture. He told me yesterday he was living with his new girlfriend and giving her $1,000 per month for her living expenses. And of course, I went a little bit crazy. So what does a crazy Christian look like? Well, after he told me that, I started to be, quote unquote, a crazy Christian. So he comes home today and he wants me to put him as an idolater. He wants me to put him as a god. He wants all of the attention, and he wants me to focus on him and him only and what his needs are. Apparently, he opened up my mail and showed me a letter that said I was getting a $1,200 check. Again, this is an example of financial abuse, entitlement, and the rules don't apply to the narcissist. Plus, it's illegal, and that is all about control. So he knew what I had in my account. I had scheduled a phone call with Community Housing Network and Neighborhood House to get financial housing options. So he wanted me to get the money out of the bank right then and there and now, which is idolatry. So it's my day off from work, and I had some scheduled to take care of some things. But he wanted to be an idol, the center of attention, the God of my world. So I was on the phone call with the Community Housing Network, and he listened to every word. He sat there literally drumming his fingers and stalking the conversation from the upstairs balcony. God allowed him to hear that conversation, and it was basically everything I tried to do to get more money for rent was absolutely useless and hopeless. So what I realized is that God allowed him to hear that conversation because he listened to every word. This is another example of financial abuse and financial control. I learned that this new Sarah housing grants for evictions, you must be currently in the process of being evicted. It's only for past rent. It does not pay for future rent, and it's not an option for my situation. And he heard all that. Section 8 is there's a 6-month waiting period, and then another 6 months to get on the list. And it draws like a lottery, and you only receive funds from that. There's a government score system. So if you've been homeless in your car for over like 3 months or 6 months, then you move to the priority list. If you're not homeless and in your car, then you're not priority list. So you just sit on the list. I can't wait 6 months. Living with family and friends on a couch, you do not qualify for assistance. Okay, this is how the government does their standards for helping people out with evictions. Section 8, you must start from scratch. So you can't just, like I'm in a place where I rent, and I can't just have the landlord be a Section 8 qualifier, and then Section 8 could pay my landlord and I can pay the difference. The government doesn't allow that. You have to start from scratch. You have to go find someone that's already approved, a housing complex. And then, government. So it's not going to work. If the narcissist does not have a new girlfriend, that closes the door to our relationship. If he is living with his aunt, what he's doing, he's forcing my allegiance back to him because there are no other options for me. So this is my experience of financial abuse by a narcissist, which is domestic abuse. This is not a crime, according to the standards of the world today. The allegiance to the world systems are supporting his machinations. What he's doing to me is basically he's saying to me, I need to give up my relationship with God and go back to him as my idol, because without his support financially, I will be homeless. So this is the machinations of the devil. So the divorce courts and the family court systems, they're basically in bed with narcissist and the Jezebel spirit and the bride of Satan. They all work in allegiance with the Satanists. So I went to my bank where the stimulus check was sent to get the narcissist's $1,200 so I can continue to live here. I set a boundary with him that I needed to take a shower and then I was going to go to the bank. So he stormed off because it wasn't in his timing. And then I went to my bank. The bank that I went to, because there was a lady I dealt with there like 4 or 5 years ago that was really nasty to me. I do actually do spiritual warfare towards this bank because I felt like she was a spiritual enemy of mine. So after I took the money out of the bank, the teller asked me if I was interested in car loans. And I was actually going to ask him, but he offered first. I got approved. My credit score went literally from a 519 to a 669. And my credit is almost an A rank. I guess 677 is an A rank. So this is, for me, folks, is a true miracle. So I went from an interest rate. I went from an interest rate on my car to a 9.75% interest to 4.75% interest. I saved $5,000 on interest. The payment lowered by $33 a month, and I get to skip 4 payments, which is $1,244 savings. So now I just saved $8,422. Because this narcissist wanted my $1,200 for rent, I was forced to go to the bank, but under my conditions where I had privacy. And now I saved $8,422, and my monthly payment is $33 less per month. So yesterday, I also decreased my insurance by $114 per month, which is $1,368 a year. I have saved in car insurance payments, and I am no longer under the liability of insuring an unlicensed driver. So altogether, I saved $9,790 in 2 days. I actually received $2,800 because of my daughter. So when narcissist worshiping Satanists opened my mail, the letter said I only got $1,200. So I told narcissist that was all that I had. Haha. God let him know that I had $1,200 to protect my real assets. When you apply for food money from the state, it will lower your internet bill to only $10 per month. So that saves me another $25 a month. So I saved another $300. So I saved almost $10,000 in 2 days. And it feels like I'm in a pinball machine, but God is moving the chess pieces and the players around to help me. If I had not gone to the bank this morning, if I had gone to the bank this morning with the narcissist, I never would have been able to talk about saving almost $10,000 on my car loan because he wouldn't have let me. Apparently, God is not only a financial advisor and a credit counselor, and he also is helping me to lower my expenses so that I can offset my housing expenses. This is definitely God's way and not my way. So I'm renting the condo until July 9th after my daughter gets out of school. So it's 116 days from today. So I did the numbers. If I get a full-time position in kitchen design, I'll make about $2,560 a month, and with expenses, I'll take home $2,300 minus taxes. So after the reduction in so I will have like from $1,600 to $1,900 left every month to pay my rent. And I'm going to speak to the assistant manager about how I want the kitchen design position. And I'm literally going to bring in my Bachelor of Science degree. I'm going to bring in all my folders of my past clients because I feel like no one believes me. And then I'm also going to tell the assistant manager my story on, when I started working at Home Depot and why I was there and what happened. And if I don't get the position, then I am going to call corporate and complain about hiring prejudice. But it looks like in the past 2 days, I've made $10,000 and I've increased my wages, and I'll be able to pay my rent of $1,400 and have money left over. And this has been 2 days. And I had this little Irish guy here because it's St. Patrick's Day. And I just want to say the guy at the bank was actually, his last name was O'Grady. So talk about, Irish. So what I realized is God is orchestrating this and putting me where I need to go. And it's amazing when I don't do it and I let God do it, how much easier it works. Like everything is starting to fall into place. Like one of my friends says, it's never exactly the way that you see it. Like you have a plan. Like I had a plan of what I thought was going to happen. And I guess I thought my plan was I had to, work like 80 hours a week. And what God has done is lowered my expenses so much and saved me so much money that not only can I pay my new rent of $1,400, but I now have money left over, and I'll probably get the promotion because I'm feeling really aggressive that I have to get the promotion. And I know that if I do, that I will, that I'm very qualified.